You exercise, you eat protein, you even stretch before bed. Yet your muscles still feel weaker with every passing year. Most seniors blame age. Some blame their diet. But science has uncovered something deeper, a missing link no one talks about. It's not another supplement. It's not a magic shake. It's a powerful connection inside your own body, the one between your nerves and your muscles. After 60, this connection begins to fade silently. The signals from your brain to your muscles lose strength, and that single change can turn even simple movements into a struggle. Today, you'll discover the hidden link that decides whether your muscles grow stronger or slowly shut down. And more importantly, I'll show you how to rebuild it naturally, step by step. It starts quietly. You notice your legs feel heavier after a short walk. Climbing stairs takes more effort. And when you finally sit down, you feel that deep, draining fatigue, even though you haven't done much. Most people think, I'm just getting older. But what's really happening is a slow disconnection between your brain and your muscles. Every movement, from standing up to lifting a cup, depends on tiny electrical signals that travel from your nerves to your muscle fibers. When you're young, those signals fire like lightning. Each pulse tells your muscles, contract, move, grow stronger. But after 60, the wiring begins to fray. The nerves that once activated your muscles start to shrink or even die off. And when those nerves disappear, the muscle fibers they controlled simply stop working. Scientists call this motor unit loss. At first, you barely notice it. A few fibers go silent, your body compensates. But over time, the gaps grow wider, the signals get weaker, and your muscles forget how to respond. That's why you can eat well, exercise, and still feel weaker. It's not that your muscles have forgotten how to grow. It's that they're no longer receiving the message to do so. Imagine trying to start a car when the spark plugs misfire. The fuel is there, the engine is fine, but without a proper signal, nothing happens. That's exactly what happens inside aging muscles. The signal fades before it ever reaches the engine. Once scientists realized that muscles were going silent, they started looking for ways to switch them back on. And what they found was fascinating. The key wasn't just in the muscle tissue itself. It was in the communication system between your brain, your nerves, and your cells. You see, every muscle contraction begins in your nervous system. A spark of electricity travels down from your spinal cord through thin nerve branches until it reaches your muscle fibers. At that junction, called the neuromuscular junction, a chemical messenger named acetylcholine carries the signal across. It's like a tiny bridge that tells your muscle, move. But with age, that bridge starts to crumble. Oxidative stress, inflammation, and lack of activity weaken the nerve endings. Your body still tries to send the signal, but fewer messages make it across. And without regular activation, muscles go dormant. Here's the hopeful part. These connections aren't permanently lost. Your body can rebuild them if you give it the right triggers. In one study, researchers found that even adults in their 70s could regenerate lost nerve connections after just a few weeks of specific movement training. Simple, repeated actions that force nerves and muscles to communicate again. Think of it like retraining an old radio to find the right frequency. You just have to keep tuning until the signal locks in. Movement alone, however, isn't enough. The nerves themselves need energy and protection. And that's where certain nutrients come in, ones that literally fuel the repair process inside your cells. Because when your nerves are low on energy, no signal, no matter how strong, can travel through. The result? Weak output, slow recovery, and muscles that stay stuck in sleep mode. But when the nerve is recharged, when the bridge is rebuilt, the muscle wakes up almost instantly. That's when seniors describe feeling lighter, stronger, or suddenly able to move again without changing anything else. The spark didn't come from the muscle, it came from the signal that reached it. To rebuild any signal, you first need energy, and not just any energy. Your nerves run on one of the most precise electrical systems in the body, Every tiny pulse that tells your muscle to move is powered by cell energy, known as ATP. Inside each nerve cell, small power plants, the mitochondria, create that energy. But as the years pass, these power plants slow down. They burn less cleanly, produce more waste, and the nerves start losing voltage. So before muscles can grow again, the energy factory itself must be restored. The good news is, your body already knows how to do this. It just needs the raw materials. Nutrients like B vitamins, magnesium, and CoQ10 act as the wiring and fuel that keep the current flowing. Without them, it's like trying to light a lamp with a dying battery. That's why so many seniors who eat well still feel drained. The food gives calories, not current. Real nerve energy depends on micronutrients that rebuild the electric charge inside your cells. Magnesium helps every nerve fire in rhythm. Vitamin B12 keeps the insulation, called the myelin sheath, from breaking down. And CoQ10, that quiet molecule inside your mitochondria, acts like a spark plug that restarts the whole circuit. When you restore these building blocks, something incredible happens. Your muscles begin responding again. Movements feel smoother, reflexes quicker, fatigue fades faster. It's not about stimulation, it's about restoration. You're not forcing your body to work harder. You're allowing it to work correctly again. And when those dormant nerves start firing, you'll notice it. Sometimes in the simplest ways. Standing up feels easier. Your balance steadies. You recover from walks in half the time. That's the feeling of your system coming back online. Now that you understand how your nerves and muscles communicate, the next step is to keep that signal alive every single day. You don't need heavy workouts or expensive gadgets. In fact, the best way to wake up your muscles again is through short, deliberate movements that tell your nerves, I'm still here, keep firing. Here's a simple daily pattern that scientists and physiotherapists have found remarkably effective for older adults. Step 1. The morning activation. Before breakfast, stand up beside your chair, place one hand for balance, and do 10 slow sit-to-stands. This movement isn't about strength, it's about signal flow. Each repetition re-engages the brain-to-leg connection, switching the system from sleep to awake. Step 2. The circulation boost. After lunch, take a 5-minute walk. Inside or outside doesn't matter. What matters is movement rhythm. The gentle pumping of your legs increases blood flow to the nerves and muscles, bringing in oxygen, nutrients, and warmth. It's like clearing static off an old radio signal. Step 3. The evening recharge. At night, before bed, stretch your ankles and calves while seated. Then take 3 slow, deep breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth. This calms cortisol and allows your nervous system to reset, so the repair process can happen while you sleep. When practiced daily, these small rituals create a steady electrical rhythm through your muscles. You're not just moving, you're teaching your body to reconnect. And over time, that connection becomes permanent again. Your muscles relearn how to respond, your balance returns, and energy stops leaking away with every step. These few minutes a day can do more for your mobility than hours of random exercise, because they target the communication lines, not just the muscles. You're rebuilding the foundation of movement itself. The first changes are subtle, almost easy to miss, but they're powerful signs that your system is waking up again. After a few days, you may notice that your legs feel lighter when you stand. That little pause before you start walking, gone. Your movements flow a bit smoother, as if the message between your brain and your muscles finally gets through again. By the second week, something else happens. Your balance improves without you even practicing it. That's because the tiny stabilizer muscles in your hips and ankles are back online. They're firing again, catching you before you lose steadiness. Then, recovery begins to change. The soreness that once lasted for days now fades in hours. You start waking up with a bit more energy, and you realize this isn't motivation, it's biology. Your body is repairing what time tried to disconnect. Even your heart rate may respond faster after small exertion. That's a sign of better coordination between your nervous system and circulation. And one day, it just clicks. You bend down to tie your shoes and stand up without thinking. No strain, no hesitation, just movement, natural again. These are the moments seniors often describe as getting their spark back. Not from a pill, but from reconnection. Every signal that fires correctly strengthens the next one. And that's how muscle loss slows. And real strength begins to return. The goal is to keep it alive, to protect that signal for the years ahead. Here's the truth most people never hear. Your body never stops adapting. Even after 70 or 80, your nervous system can still learn, rebuild, and grow stronger. If you keep giving it reasons to. That means small, consistent signals every day. Don't think of exercise as punishment. Think of it as conversation. Each movement you make tells your muscles, stay connected, stay awake. Pair that with good rest, hydration, and nutrient support. And the system stays balanced. Nerves fire cleaner, muscles recover faster, and your energy stays stable, not just for a day, but for decades. Remember, this isn't about fighting age. It's about working with your body's design. Your muscles don't fade because they're old. They fade because they stop receiving attention. And attention is something you can always give back. So tomorrow morning, when you take that first step out of bed, pause for a moment. Feel your legs, your balance, your breath. That's your system coming online. That's strength. Not from the gym, but from within. Because staying strong after 60 isn't about adding more effort. It's about keeping the connection alive.